All right. Well, welcome to the Swerve Show. It is April 15th.
What day is it?
April 15th is pseudo tax day.
Well, stimulus check day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If you qualify, you should got your stimulus checks by now, right?
I haven't gotten mine yet. I haven't gotten one. Oops. Well, anyway, welcome to the Swerve Show. I'm Jamil Fletcher, publisher of Swerve, and we've got Yarde Noir, our editor at large. He's bottom right. Did you wave? Oh, there you go. All right, and then in the yellow, we've got L Train. There it is, all this West Virginia stuff, and that Diana Ross image is bumping. That's gorgeous.
Wait, did you say bumping?
Yes, it's bumping. We don't say bumping anymore.
Don't date yourself.
I thought you.
Fierce. Fierce is never out. Fierce.
Really?
And Tony Nelson there with the red cat glasses, but they're not cat exactly.
They're a little cattier than I thought they were going to be. I ordered these online. You know how they fit them on your face and stuff, but they're cute.
They are cute.
They're cute. I like them.
They're very red, y'all. Well, welcome. It is pseudo tax day, but your taxes aren't due. They're not due until June. Hallelujah. July. Oh, July?
July.
Great. Won't he do it? So, of course, our March-April issue is Hot on the Stands with George Mizrahi on the cover. The new overall father of the House of Mizrahi. So, Mizrahi. And I was chatting with him today. He's doing all right out on the West Coast. He said things are a little crazy out there, but he's doing all right.
How so?
Just with they're on everything's shut down and you got to wear masks going in and out of certain places, just like us.
What's interesting, though, is, the mayor of San Francisco was just on CNN last night, and they're giving her much praise because, she shut everything down early.
She shut it down early, right? She sure did.
And because of that, their numbers are much better than every place else. So
right, but Los Angeles mayor is saying that it's considering a document leaked, and he's considering canceling all major events through 2022.
Oh, I thought it was just 2021. I thought he was saying
21 or 22. But because some scientists are saying that this could be the new normal through 2022.
Right. So, no sporting events and all that stuff. No concerts. None of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's considered, the Los Angeles mayor is considering just canceling everything now.
Well, that's smart. Well, anyway, our March-April issue, we showed that. But, of course, we have advertising opportunities both in the magazine and on the show. And you just got to hit myself, Jamil, at swervemagazine.com. And we'll work with you. All right. Well, let's go right into some news, y'all. We already started talking about this coronavirus. I mean, what else is there to talk about? Okay.
Nothing. It is here. Rona is here.
But when you talk about a new reality, I mean, will we ever go to a concert again? And have people sit on both sides and in front and in back of us? Is that ever going to happen again?
Or would you ever feel comfortable sitting in a small dressing room and somebody sneeze and you don't flip out?
Mm-hmm.
That's mask. Everybody's going to have masks. They're going to be giving away masks, coming and going. Here's your mask. Put it on.
It's going to be the new hottest accessory. Baby, there was one woman. I wish I would have saved that picture. There was one woman who had put together. She had a Fendi skirt, a Fendi purse, and a matching Fendi mask. And she had took a picture, and that was her Easter Sunday outfit. I had got my entire life.
I mean, it is.
I saw that.
But
a Louis one on too.
What do y'all think about all this news of how it disproportionately impacts us, the African American community? What are y'all thoughts about that?
I think it's terrible. And Oprah had a big thing about it, and she said it's actually she's considering what she's going to do with the rest of her life if she survives this coronavirus and how she's going to respond with her billions of dollars. And like she said, this virus has really played true to all the economic and the socio-economic disparities.
It's exacerbated all the links,
the African American community has faced. For example, more people in smaller spaces, less money, less access to housing, but also Dr. Cottle, who I love, I've been watching, she was on Fox News and they asked her about it. And she said, well, I'm going to say what a lot of people are afraid to say. She said a lot of African Americans also just have a lack of trust of the medical community.
They do.
It goes as far back as Tuskegee. And she said, I think that also plays a part in all this. So there's a whole lot to.
But you still need. But I don't know if that has anything to do with us contracting the virus.
Well, it does, because there's a cycle there. So if you don't trust the medical system and you're not going to get proper care, those underlying issues that cause the virus to be more easily contractable or cause the issues from it to be more deadly for us. Those are the issues there. So if you're not going to the doctor to deal with the fact that you got diabetes or you got high blood pressure or some of these other comorbidities that are occurring within our race, then you're at a higher risk already, as far as dying or even contracting it.
Right. Oprah also brought up a very important point that she said that she felt like in the beginning when they was talking about the older people and people with pre-existing conditions
are
more likely to contract it. She said she really thinks that did a disservice to a lot of people because it left a lot of people feeling like, oh, I'm good,
Well, you know what it is people. There's so much that people don't know. The doctors, the physicians, the scientists, they're continuously learning stuff. That's why we come out with these new restrictions and new recommendations.
Well, but. So this it's multifaceted. So as you said, Tony, that it has done people a disservice. Part of that disservice, it goes back to what Lawrence was speaking about, was that a lot of people don't even really know. People are not really on top of all of their health issues because a large portion of the community don't trust doctors. Half of them don't even go on a regular basis.
Or they don't have access.
Or they don't have access. So that's one side. So you're delusionally living that I don't have any challenges. That's the first part. Second part. Say that again.
I feel all right.
Right. I'm good.
Or if I go, it's going to cost me $1,000 for you to just take my temperature.
And there you have it. That part. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the flip to that is, we were having this conversation before we started, I literally cannot do, me personally, I cannot do these Trump rallies every day. Like literally, I stopped watching. Because
you mean the press conferences?
I thought he was doing comedy improv.
But I will say this though.
Well, they're going to stop showing. They said they're going to stop. If MSNBC stops and they'll say if anything comes up important, we'll let you know. But they stop showing.
Sidebar, did y'all get into? They showed a flash of today's baby. Trump's hair is all white up on top. You ain't get your color today, baby.
Well, it was outside. Remember they moved them outside.
I know, and it's all white up here. But
catch this.
But the second part, what I was going to say is the first part is that a lot of people in our community, one, don't know whatever their health challenges are first. Second, they don't trust the medical community. And three, this fool that they got running the country that they wouldn't get rid of don't know what the hell he's talking about. And he allowing these stupid governors who don't know what the hell they talk about want to go and do whatever the hell they want to do too. So it's multifaceted. It's just not one side. It's all over the whole situation.
Well, I will say this though. I live in a black community And some of our folks ain't taking this thing seriously. They're walking around, hugging, la la la, no mask, no gloves, and I'm covered. I'm covered from head to toe, dude. I look like
no, they're not. They're not.
All I'm missing is a hazmat suit.
I hate to say it, but of where I live, I see a lot of folks really not taking it seriously either. I have to say, and it's troubling. It's troubling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I drove down a very famous street. I think a few kids did a reality show of Atlanta Housewives named after this street.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And I drove down the street, and I was seeing people in groups of 10s and 15s,
yes,
babies, children, and I was just like, "What are these people doing?
They ain't watching the news.
What are these people doing?
Chilling,
and then
baby.
you got people, but then you have people like Candace Owens.
What she said? Oh, y'all listen to that girl? That girl's
You can't
crazy.
help it because she's on Facebook and she's doing live videos, and she's saying that this is a whole hoax, and
Still,
yeah.
Good luck to her, baby.
And I've seen people who I consider friends. Well, I'm not gonna say you're not my friend because you believe something that Trump said. I can't say that. But I've seen people who I thought knew better. I think that's better. Saying, "Oh, this woman is speaking truth," and I'm just like, this is a disservice that we're doing to our own community. And maybe she is speaking truth, but what if she's not? So why are we taking chances the way that we are? But yes,
I bet she ain't taking no chances.
She said there's something that's not right about this whole corona thing, and she's traveled around the world, and she was traveling around the world, all this stuff, and nothing ever happened to me. Okay, so you're lucky, nothing ever happened to you. But I just think they're doing a huge disservice, and people who are sharing that stuff are doing a huge disservice. And I'm going to say this also, this might be controversial, but Donald Trump is doing a whole lot of gaslighting. But there's a lot of gaslighting coming off that other side too. Everybody is doing gaslighting, trying to get you. I think it's trying to get you on their side. We need to be doing what's really concentrated. Let's stop with the politics. Let's stop with trying to win the next election.
Well, I tell you what, there was a prime example of that today. I don't know if we got a slide of the folks in Michigan. Did you see them protesting? They're protesting because they want the governor of Michigan to open the state back up. I think it's up or it's a slide up. Crazy folks, no masks, no guns, they had guns and all this stuff and all these Trump Pence signs and stuff. And then at the same time, the same thing that happened at the same time they were protesting. Michigan has got so many deaths that they're looking for ice rinks. They're looking to open up the ice rinks to establish a morgues at the ice rinks in Michigan. That's
okay. I wanted to piggyback on what Tony Nelson said. So I think a harsh reality that we don't ever talk about is, so when we talk about that there are groups of people walking down the street that you were talking about in Grove
Road,
and there are people in our community who really don't really take it serious. I think the harsh reality is underlying conversation that we really need to have is that at some point there are parts of our community that don't believe that, like, they don't even see. I know this is harsh to say, but their life is of value, or in the big context of, well, child, if I live, I still got to deal with this. You see what I mean? So I think that there's still a mentality that, child, something's gonna get me either way. It don't matter. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds crazy, but that's a reality.
But I just thought some people just weren't watching the news because I was talking to some other friends of mine and their elderly parents and stuff. They were taking them to the grocery store. And I was like, you've lost your mind. Anyway, on top of that, y'all, let's talk election. Biden is going to be the nominee. So who should be his VP candidates? And we got some images shown.
He already said who his VP was.
No, did he say that? When?
He announced it, but he said it was going to be somebody from. He said it was going to be somebody from the candidates.
Oh,
and he said it was
really?
going to be a woman. So, and we already know it's Camilla. It's going to be Camilla Harris.
Oh, I think that would be wrong. He said someone from the candidates.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Here's my thought on it.
Stacey Abrams.
I'd like to see Stacey Abrams, but I think the person that could deliver him the Midwest power is the person that will give him a really great chance of winning. And like it or don't like it, that would be Klobuchar. She has that. You know, that's the person who I think could deliver him. She's very popular. And I think she's a strong person. But they say that Kamala is in front. I don't think Stacey Abrams has the national legislative skill to. I think she does, but I don't think she has it where they're going to think that she's a viable candidate because she's never had an office outside of local legislation.
Well, you know what? But the country used to always elect governors first. They would never elect senators and congressmen.
I'm gonna tell you who even though I know it won't happen, I would have loved to have seen Elizabeth Warren as his VP.
Well,
One, she's a woman. She's a woman. Second, I've always lived for. Because to me, I've always viewed her and Maxine Waters were like my two power women who would come for the kids and not care. And so I live for Elizabeth Warren and I would love to see her as his VP, but I don't think he'll do it because she's not of color. Yes, she's a woman, but I think that he's still focused on getting that black vote.
Well, speaking of color, though, you have to think one thing, beyond the fact that Kamala, I don't want to make this reduce it down to her color. She's very smart. She's very capable. But Kamala checks two real big She checks three big boxes.
She does.
She's a woman.
Woman.
She's African American.
Yeah.
And she's Indian. And the point I'm making here is they're saying that
I said, do they see her as Indian? Or is she West Indian?
She claims her Indian heritage.
She does.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think it was, what's her name, from Meghan McCain swears that as soon as he announces a woman, Trump's going to fire
Pence
and going to get Nikki Haley. Well, Nikki Haley.
Actually, that would be smart because that would help with South Carolina and Florida. That would get those people out and the women vote.
It would, and it would help with the Indian vote. But Kamala could perhaps unbalance that.
What Indian vote? Ain't but 5 Indians in the country left.
The Indian has a huge population in Florida. There's a huge population of Indian community in Florida, and I'm going to say. I'm gonna get off that road.
Yeah, let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving.
Wait. One real quick though. I will say, although Kamala does check those 2 boxes, I don't think she necessarily has the black vote.
No,
that part.
I feel like
black women would vote for her. Come on.
Yeah,
black women would vote for her.
I think that they would because just like everybody will, is voting for Biden, not because it's their first choice, but because it's against Trump.
Yes,
but if you're looking to get the masses and you're like, I need to get more people, and if you're trying to get the black vote, I don't know that Kamala would be the one I would go with to get the black vote, to be honest.
No.
I feel like Biden already has Biden is Biden. He already has a black vote.
I agree. But also I totally agree with you. But I think if we just keep following Cardi B and listen to Cardi.
What did she say?
I'm sorry.
What did she say?
Y'all say what y'all want to. Cardi is sick-o-ning.
She's a canary in the mine.
She is sick-o-ning.
What did she say?
She had Bernie Sanders on her Instagram today. Had a whole interview with him. And
really? And so she's gonna be a surrogate?
Hold on, wait. What'd she say? Come on, talk, Tony.
He was telling people, okay, Bernie, you out now. And I admit that because I was so into you, I wasn't paying attention to Mr. Biden. She said, so I will go do my research and I'm going to ask my followers to research Mr. Biden. What do you say and what should we do? She basically asked him what we should do to make sure that that Biden wins the election. And Bernie came back and said, see, you have to understand. She said, because the younger people are really into the progressive moves that you are making.
That's right.
And like Biden, but Bernie said, young people have to understand that Biden will come along with our movement. He has to. He has to come along with the movement. She said, but he told her, but we have to get behind him and vote. We cannot stay home. I just thought that was such a powerful. That's like the fourth really powerful video. One video she did about the coronavirus after Idris Elba about rich people. That video, she cussed all the way through it. But that video was so powerful. They put that thing on Young Turks. They said, I'm sorry, Cardi B is the smartest woman in America right now. And I'm sorry, and I had to say it. They said, get back beyond her cursing and stuff like that. This woman really, 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 especially for her to be so rich and so powerful, she really has her pulse on what's really happening. And like she said, the main point she said, people keep talking about, oh, we rich. I got a big house I can go to. I got several big houses I can go hide out in. Why do I care? She said, I care because my people I grew up with, where I came from, they don't have this. They are starting businesses. They are stuck in, they're stuck in little small places. And it's for all of us to do our part. I'm sorry.
She had made a statement before that she was like, right now she feel motivated to go back to school so she can go and run for office. She said, I need to learn. I just want to learn about the Constitution so I can go run for office.
Well, yeah, she got to manage. She got to manage that money too. So that's a good thing. Well, let's keep it moving, y'all. So another piece of news. It's a sad piece. A legendary pianist, Onaji Allen Gomes, passed this last week. He was 70. He's a jazz pianist. Actually, he was a friend of the family. But I don't know if he was famous for working with Norman Connors and Phyllis Hyman. He was one of the primary arrangers doing her earlier stuff. That the answer boy is you and Betcha by Golly Wow. That was his arrangement. So phenomenal pianist. And so we're gonna miss Onaji. Anyway. And y'all, we still got time to do the census. So we got a little clip to encourage y'all. Run it, PJ.
In America, we all count, no matter where we call home, how we worship, or who we love. And the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Because this is the count that informs where hundreds of billions in funding will go each year for things like education, healthcare, and programs that touch us all. Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. In America, we all count, no matter where we call home, how we worship, or who we love. And the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Because this is the count that informs where hundreds of billions in funding will go each year for things like education, healthcare, and programs that touch us all. Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
She need to come out with a free album. All right, y'all. So we're back. Anyway, all right. Well, let's. I got a little music profile, but I'm gonna hold off on it. Let's hold off on the music profile.
Let's talk about the Clark sisters. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the Clark sisters. Did y'all see it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge gospel fan. I love great music, obviously. So I don't know gospel music. I know something of them. But I didn't know there were 5 of them.
Yeah, there's 5 of them.
Plus the mom. I didn't know that.
And then it was another brother that they never mentioned.
Leo.
Oh. Wow. So what's been the feedback on it?
Well, people overall loved it, which But people loved it. From what most of I thought if you're gonna tell my personal thing, if you're gonna tell a story, somebody one of the girls was on Facebook doing her show, and one of the funny drag queens, and I can't remember who it was, but she was saying, I don't understand why they made Denise so dark. Denise was the lightest one of them all.
Really?
Were they trying to say she's the black sheep of the family? He said it was just so much. There was some undertones that that you did kind of pick up on. Because for me, it felt like it made Karen and I've met Karen Clark twice, 3 times, and she was a nice enough person. But it just they put all this woman stuff out there. But what about y'all? Y'all was doing some stuff too. You had to be.
But they had, it just seemed like there was like extra drama going on in this family. Was it that much going on?
It was much more.
Baby, I'm sure it was much more than what they show because it's the church. Baby, anytime the church is involved, honey, there's a cover.
And I don't go to church. So.
Before we get to any of the drama, I just want to say the woman who played Maddie Moss Clark, if she don't get an Emmy nomination.
Oh, she was phenomenal.
Arjuan,
yeah. Ella, something like that.
She was also in If Bill Street Can Talk. Yeah,
she was. She's amazing.
Well, that's how they got her for that, because she played basically the same role. But let me just say this to y'all. That we had heard the story about, first of all, Maddie Moss Clark is a musical genius. She was a genius. And so was Twinkie. They all, they're very talented. I'm not a big fan of, I don't know all this stuff, but I can remember them from way back. I know people who've gone to the church. My cousin, he told me to stop saying he played for Karen directly. he just stopped saying that. But he was a part of Karen Clark's praise and worship team. Now let me correct that. But with that said, it just, to me, it felt like they piled on the one woman a little bit, and I didn't get enough. Y'all didn't put y'all dirt out there like that. Y'all let this one woman get the big pile on. A, B. Let me just put this out there real quick. Miss Maddie Moss would have had one time to throw her shoe at me.
What did she throw? Wait a minute, who did she throw the shoe at? Did
you miss the opening?
She would have had one.
I missed it from the beginning. I told you.
One time. She would have had one time.
She was throwing the shoes at her children?
No, they was in choir. The girl was chewing gum, and she didn't hit the note right. And she took her shoe off and threw it at her because she was like, that ain't the right note.
Threw her shoe at her. I was telling my mom when that happened. When that scene happened, all I could do was sit up and say, oh, as soon as the scene happened, my phone rang. My mother said, I would have been up in that church on her ass. Throwing a shoe at my child.
My hands would have still been around her neck.
My mother said, me and her would have been fighting. She said, so you going to throw a shoe? If he did wrong, tell him he did wrong. Don't tell me he did wrong. But you going to throw a shoe? Oh, no.
But she did that regularly. Like, they made it seem like she only did it at that church. Like, she used to do those workshops. And I know people who are in the Kojic church who talked about back in the day when she would come around and she would throw keys, whatever she had. If you were off and you weren't paying attention, she was real quick to throw something at you. Real quick.
Yeah.
That was a regular.
What happened to the husband? I didn't see that part. What happened to the husband?
They got a divorce.
But he was nowhere to be found.
That's
Is he
another
dead?
thing. He's dead too. He died. And Denise, on the show that she did with Larry Reed, she said that they didn't even tell her that the father had died, and by the time she got to Detroit, they had already buried him.
Shut up! Are you serious?
You gotta watch
that because those interviews, it's like 4 parts, and each part is about 2 hours long. Seriously.
On Larry Reed, because Larry Reed gets to see.
Larry Reed said that this is Larry Reed said. He said something to the effect that, I'm paraphrasing. If I'm getting this wrong, please forgive me. But he said something to the fact that his mother was part of a singing group called the Fleming Sisters, and they toured with the Clark Sisters quite a bit. And he said that a lot of things that you are saying run parallel to stories that I've heard. Now, I'm not going to say you tell them I can't. I'm not siding with you, but yeah.
But what y'all think about the music? What y'all think about the music? Because they redid the music, right?
That was them singing. Donald Lawrence did the arrangements.
Oh.
I thought they did. I'm sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
Well, I thought they did a good job. I was impressed with the fact that they actually sang it. And I will say Dorinda, the one who played Dorinda, was spot on.
I told you.
Which one played you?
Shalaya plays no games, baby.
The skinny one, was that the thin one?
Huh?
Oh, yes. That's Shalaya.
The one
Dorinda all day long.
Like for the music part, for me, I would say the only criticism I have is I felt like it was miscast. They had a miscast situation when they put Kiera as Twinkie. They should have put her, as Karen, they should have put Kiera as Twinkie. She looks more like her and her range is down there with Twinkie. I don't care that that's your mom. For proper casting, if anybody who watched this movie and you really follow the Clark sisters, there is an epic moment where they have one of the concerts in those curtain gowns or whatever, and they sing Name It and Claim It, and Karen hits this high note twice in the live version, and when you watch it. However, Kiera can't hit those notes, and they had to go to another part of the movie where they were like, okay, we're just going to kind of fluff past that. Just go get a soprano that can hit those notes and do that and put her in there for Twinkie. She could play the role. I thought she did a good job, but that's not her range. She's not a soprano. Why are you doing
the young lady who played that did play Twinkie, she said basically the same thing. She didn't come out and say that, but she said, but she thought they were going to cast her as Jackie. And she said, I thought one of the other girls was going to be Twinkie. She didn't say her. She said, I thought one of the other girls would play Twinkie. She said, so I was shocked when they said I was playing Twinkie and not sure how they came to that. Mm-hmm. But she said, I was shocked that they put me as Twinkie because I was more suited as Jackie for Jackie.
Yeah. Well, they specifically, they decided to put her in the role because if you see the interviews with the woman who was the director, they asked her about, because she had been wanting to do this movie for some years, and so one they say why now, and one of her answers were, Kiki had to grow up. That's the first thing that comes out of her mouth. Yeah. So
talk about the daughter.
And as a marketing tool, what they did was they decided to put Kiki as her mother. As a marketing tool, pretty much is what it was.
Right.
Do they still tour and stuff? I would imagine. Do they still record?
By the way, I want to thank Lawrence for Lawrence. I was already on top of it. I'd already seen it when you sent it to me, but I love you for it. Terrell. Terrell. So any of you all are familiar with Terrell with the Blue Wall on YouTube? He's one of my favorites. And that's when I first saw Shalaya. I had heard about Shalaya, but that's when I really got a chance to know Shalaya from his interview. He recently posted his interview. He had Karen, Jackie, and Dorinda actually came, as he said, to his kitchen and sat in front of the Blue Wall. And Lawrence has sent me the link, but I had already seen it. So, but thank you for sending that. It was very well done. Amazing. And if you have not, please watch the Terrell show. It's a great show.
I think I saw the show he did with Layla Hathaway. That was good.
They still sing some. I don't think Twinkie is singing with them very much anymore. But
Twinkie's.
It's just the three of them. Oh, really? It's just the three of them, right?
Right.
They tour still, right?
But Karen did a live in her home thing the other day. Sunday. It was real last minute though, because somebody was whispering, telling her what to say, and she was like, I was like, who whispering?
Well, I mean, I guess now is the best time to put out a new project. I'm hoping they got something coming.
Well, I felt like go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, I felt like the movie was rushed. Like I felt like we got a lot in the beginning, and it was like, all right, cool. And then they were like, oh shit, we only got 30 minutes left. Let's finish. And I felt like it because it could have easily made like the Jacksons, and
they could have made it a series.
They really could have made it like a 4-parter, even just a 2-part something. But I felt like at any time after like 85, it was rushed.
Well,
and Karen had a surgery.
It went right to
and I agree, because what they did was what they did was they went to, if you know any of their music, like if you know Dorinda's music and you know Karen's music, and you listen to their testimonies that they give in their music, it was like, okay, I got to take Dorinda to this bridge. Bam.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's fast forward to Karen's surgery. Bam. Then that explains why Karen had talked about all of this stuff, and then Karen did a whole album about her coming through. Kiara
2%.
did a follow-up album about her mama, and then Dorinda did her whole album about I'm Still Here. So that's what it was. Like, you're right. It was like they rushed
they didn't talk about their solo work at all.
But my point is, if you know their music, what Lawrence just said made sense. They rushed to the end just to say, tap, this is what the album was about. Tap, that's what that album was about. Tap, this is what this album was about. Okay, we done.
Yeah, I have to watch it again.
Like, you guys have a favorite clock sister?
Dorinda.
Thank you. I was going to say
vocally, Dorinda. I love Dorinda's voice. I think she has an amazing range. I think that Twinkie's probably the best out of all of them, but Dorinda's my favorite. Oh, Twinkie's
I don't know enough about him.
Twinkie is an absolute beast, but Dorinda's my favorite. What about you?
Dorinda's my favorite too.
Tony?
They okay.
No, you did not.
They just okay, child. They okay.
But right. I wonder the part where Maddie Moss, where she gets sort of pushed out by the church. Did that really happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
For dancing on the Grammys?
Oh, yeah. Baby, can I tell you that Frenchie Davis, I gotta find that post. Frenchie Davis had did a post.
Could have been in the movie.
Baby, that would have.
She surely could have been. That would have been fierce.
That would have ate. But Frenchie Davis did a post talking about basically this. It's the thing that she hates most about the church is the male patriarchy that went on in the church, which is so true. I mean, I was glad that they showed it because I think it does show some of the flaws that Black folk deal with in the mess that happens in the church. I do think that it was transparent. I mean, I'm a person who grew up in the church, and you know, like I've said on several occasions, I said the Black church has to be cognizant that they have spiritually effed some people up. Like some people just mad at God.
Well, they ain't the only ones. The Catholics done stuff to people too.
But I mean, Christianity across as a whole. I mean, let's call a thing a thing. You know what I mean? Some people are spiritually effed up because some people have done some things. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And so, which is why I always say it's extremely important for you to find your own personal relationship, and that's what it really is about. It really is not about this thing they call the church.
But that's one of the things I've always wanted to ask them. No, because I've known about that whole situation with Maddie for a while. Like I've heard that before, and they never left the church. Like, or let me rephrase that. They never left.
They didn't start their own church.
They never left.
I'm surprised.
They're still Kojic.
They are.
They never left the denomination or anything. They didn't go to PAW. They didn't say, well, you know what, we're going to do this or we're going to be independent. None of that. And I always wondered, how could you allow something like that to happen, knowing that it is wrong and your own spirituality is evolving and they're not evolving with you, but you still remain there and continue to be a mouthpiece for that. I just never understood.
Well, a lot of it is about power, I think. And even it's been suggested, like apparently Karen went someplace to get an award, and Karen was saying that, oh yeah, we getting back together with our sisters, Niecy and all coming back. And Denise said that never happened. She said, I've never talked to him anything about that. She said, and I cannot sing with people because they're liars. She said they're liars. She said,
like when she said Jackie wasn't a nurse.
She said Jackie ain't no nurse. She said, what nurse?
She wasn't a nurse.
No, she said she ain't no nurse.
She hasn't passed the boards.
She basically said that they are liars. She said she can't sing with people who are not telling the truth. But she said they're always talking about the devil. She said, let's talk about the Lord. But what she said that was really important was, and I was like, what does she mean? But then I
saw. Is that the one? Did she really do that at the funeral?
I'm just. Oh no! She did, because they got pictures, baby.
She did do it, but she didn't just bum rush the funeral. She was on the program.
Oh.
She was on the program to speak. She said that they didn't even. She said that they didn't even. She didn't have. She was living in D.C. at the time.
Oh.
She didn't have a way to the funeral. And
Yep.
she had to get in the car with her 7 children and had to get them to Detroit.
7 children. Was she married?
Sisters
Yeah,
did not help her
hers
get
was
there.
there.
And said it was a disgrace. They said famous people like Aretha Franklin, who sang at the funeral, said that she was very disappointed they didn't help her get to the funeral, and so that's where the anger came from. But they said that she was very. They said she did show out. She said, but the reason why they threw her off the stage was because she went over her time limit, not based on what she was saying. But with that said is. I was watching, I want to say Trinity, somebody else's show yesterday, and somebody made a point, and it was somebody else's show day for yesterday, and I made a point yesterday on Trinity's show, but I had heard it on somebody else's show, that the reason why Karen is, because even on Karen's live performance on Sunday, she said, mentioned her sister Denise. I want all my sisters, including Denise, they said because Karen's husband is up to be the senior bishop over the entire Kojic church. And last year in 2019, when this interview came out, and some of the things that Jackie said, they said the church told Karen and her husband, y'all need to clean this up before you can go up to the next level. So that
sounds like a mess.
That's why Karen is on this. I don't know if that's true, but allegedly that
makes sense though.
But it sounds like the church, baby. It sounds like the church.
Do Denise and Twinkie, do they have solo careers?
No,
Twinkie
Denise
does.
doesn't sing anymore.
Twinkie does.
Twinkie does.
Was on some show. She was at some church. There's a video of her at some church. I believe it was last year too. And they called her up to sing, and she sounded a hot mess.
Yeah, Dionne Warwick could sing circles around her right now.
She's lost it, but she has
That's
arthritis. She has arthritis, and she has some health challenges too.
Wow. She
did tell a story about how when Twinkie was sick, they wouldn't let her in. They called the police when she tried to see Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
But her
oh my goodness.
Said it was him that called the police. It's just a mess. It's just a mess.
They sound very dysfunctional to be a Christian.
But you know what though? Did y'all clock the thing at the funeral though? Because when I saw this, I was like, this doesn't make them look good at all. When they looked at each other and they're like, did you know she was coming? Did y'all not invite her?
Right.
They did not tell her. She said they did not think she was going to make it. She said because they did not provide. She said she didn't have.
She said they didn't provide. Right.
She didn't have the resources to get her whole family there, but so they didn't think she was going to make it. But she made it, and she said it was a disgrace. She said they could have helped me, and she said that's the reason why. She said she has not spoken to Karen, or she hasn't had any deep conversation with Karen, Brenda, or Jackie since that funeral. That was the last conversation. And she also said that Jackie is the big pot stirrer of all.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? It's funny that you would say that because and you watch that interview on Terrell with Terrell, you can be like, oh, she's the best.
Is she the one? Was she the one in the middle? Because I saw some.
Oh yeah, Jackie's the one in the middle.
Yeah, they said she said basically because Denise is the oldest Clark sister.
She's the first Clark sister,
and she also. Oh, this is also what she said. She said that the whole thing is she said that she would never forgive Twinkie for allowing Jackie to perpetuate that myth that her father was abusive. He was not. She said his father was not abusive. Father never touched his mother, and that's Jackie saying that because Jackie hated him.
Wow.
Right.
Oh wait! Pause.
They all have the same father as well.
Wait. So the pastor that she was married
they have different fathers.
They have Jackie and Leo are Cullums. They are not Clarks.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Yade.
Okay, so wait. So the pastor that she was married to, who was a Clark,
yes,
didn't beat her.
That's what Denise said. Denise said Denise said it never happened. She said that man was not abusive. She said that the parents' relationship was dysfunctional because of her mother's travel and didn't matter. He said my father never laid hands on him and never laid hands on my mother. And she said that Twinkie never left his church.
Oh.
Twinkie went to his church to the day he died. She was a part of his church. She said he never laid a hand on his mother, but now she said this before the movie. She said this interview was last year. She said, but Jackie has been perpetuating that rumor, and she said, but Jackie is a liar. And she said, the thing is, she said Jackie hated my father. She said, but the second he died, she changed her last name to Clark. She said, why would you change your last name to Clark to somebody who beat you, that you hated? Well, my father did put her out the house for other reasons.
Oh my goodness!
Not, so
is there a book? Is there a book that goes along with this biopic?
No. But it's just we don't know what all this stuff is alleged. But I don't.
I'm sure. Well, this always happens with the biopic. Someone says, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not how it happened."
I don't know. I just wish they had done a more balanced job. It seemed to me, my one criticism of the movie, it did seem rushed. Vocally, I don't think Kiera is up to Karen's vocal abilities. Mm-hmm. But with that said, that's neither here nor there. I do feel like it felt like an unbalanced portrayal, negative portrayal of the one sister, even though the things that they said some of that stuff was well known. What about your stuff? And that to me just did not seem that didn't sit well with me.
It's called revisionist history.
But who knows? Who knows what
the truth is, right?
Who knows what the real truth is? And what have you? I met Karen when she came to DC and worked with Reggie Ray and Alley Cat. They did a play, an Aretha Franklin play, directed and written by Gloria Hightower from Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. Okay, Gloria.
And Karen Clark, and what's the woman's name who sings If Only You Knew? She did Patti LaBelle's version.
Yeah, I did her makeup for that.
Yeah, they did. They played.
Who was that? Shirley.
I can't remember her name. Her name will come to me. But She
did Family Reunion, Lawrence.
Right. One played Aretha Franklin, R&B Aretha Franklin.
Hold on one second.
Karen played the gospel version of Aretha Franklin.
That is.
I'm about to take a few seconds.
We got 2 minutes, y'all. We got 2 minutes. Anything else y'all watching?
I watched the debut of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Garcelle Beauvoir.
Is she the only black girl on it?
Yeah, she was good. She came through.
Yeah?
She came through.
And I watched Coffee and Kareem. It was absolutely amazing.
I got to pull the trailer for that because I saw the trailer. I said I was going to watch it. That's on Netflix.
Garcelle gonna be good and messy. I can see it coming.
I might have to switch over to Beverly Hills now.
I was gonna watch Beverly Hills no more since Lisa Vanderpump ain't here. But here I am. I'm watching.
I gotta find something else to watch until some sports comes back on television. Unsung. I saw the Al Jarreau Unsung, which is very good.
It was very good. But that one guy, did you see the one guy? His name is Chris Walker. He was on there.
Yeah. Talking. He's good. I love Chris Walker.
He has the Al Jarreau tribute album. He sounds just like him.
Oh yeah, he sings. I have I have one of his albums. It's his debut album. His Al Jarreau tribute album is really well done. I got to look for that.
Yeah, it was really well done. I forgot to. It was really sad about his wife. Al Jarreau's wife Susan died like a year after, almost a year to the date that he died.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was sad.
Really sad. Even though I never don't see Al Jarreau as an unsung recording artist.
That's my question. Yeah. He's not unsung. He won Grammys in pop, R&B, and jazz categories.
Yeah.
And they performed around the world. I mean, that whole concept is a little misnomer because he's definitely not an unsung artist.
Mm-mm. Who was the other person that had one?
Well, they got a whole new lineup. Will Downing, Betty Wright. I think they do Billy Paul, Howard Hewitt.
Okay.
Yeah. Betty Wright is a good one.
Yeah. But I gotta watch the Al Jarreau one again. Y'all been watching? Good. Have y'all seen Striking Vipers on Netflix?
No.
It's part of that Black Mirror show, that series.
Okay. Sorry, Deatra Hicks. That's what it was.
Oh, Deatra Hicks. Yeah.
Thank you. I did, and I did her makeup because Whitney was her makeup artist, and Whitney had to go out of town. Oh. And when Whitney went out of town, Whitney was out of town when they were doing that play because Whitney was Theatrica's regular makeup artist.
She does all the Tyler Perry's plays.
And, right, and she was here to do that.
Story about the version, the one I went to. Deidre Hicks actually outsang Karen Clark that night.
I believe that.
She outsang Karen Clark. And then Karen Clark was having some issues backstage over some shoes or something else or another. I ain't gonna get to that story. Long story short, she refused to go back out because I think she realized her voice she was not in the best of voices and somebody was recording. And Gloria Hightower, if you know Gloria Hightower, she used to be a powerhouse vocalist and she stopped singing after her father died. Well, Gloria Hightower she's a little eccentric, but I love her. Gloria Hightower came out on stage and started reading the audience, said, "Stop the show. Y'all need to put y'all phones up." And then she started getting hot. And she started getting hot. And then they brought Karen back on. At the end of the play, Gloria came back out and they all started singing. Apparently Karen wouldn't sing, she was doing just standing there. Miss Gloria Hightower got that microphone and blew all them hoes off.
Oh wow!
Well,
blew all them hoes. Oh yes, she did. Oh yes, she did. And
then just an unknown fact. So for those,
I think we got 1 second.
Real quick, for those of us who live in DC, you know the big story about Chet Bennett who got the liver, was it kidney transplant? Yes. from Acia Williams. Well, Acia Williams is Gloria Hightower's daughter,
right?
Who got gifted the salon down on at Florida and U. Just so that's to connect
with.
Yeah, that's Gloria Hightower's daughter.
I have to look up that name. All right, folks. Well, it was good seeing you guys. PJ, where are we? Are we done? PJ, are we over time? Producer, PJ.
I think we cut off.
Oh, did he cut us off? I can't tell.
I didn't cut you off. You're still on. You're still on. You can go ahead and finish
up. Oh, we still live. Keep going.
Continue.
Yeah, you're still live. Finishing it up.
I'm going to tell you about Striking Vipers. It's part of the Black Mirror series. You got to watch it. Anthony Mack is in it, and it's really good. But it touches on... Vipers. Huh? It's on Netflix. Vipers. Striking Vipers. Well, it's Black Mirror. It's a Black Mirror series, and the episode is called Striking Vipers. Yeah. You got to see it.
Okay.
It's going to make you think twice about the game, these virtual games and stuff. So... you got to see it. So.
Oh yeah. By the way, there's a new show coming on. I think it debuted this week. And then I'll be watching, so I'll be talking about it next week. I think on Netflix called Black AF, Black as Fuck.
Yeah, we showed that. We showed the trailer for that, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did great. I'll be watching it. I think it debuted today or tomorrow.
Is it today? It's Kenya Burr's show, and he's got Quincy Jones' daughter on it.
Yeah, I'll be watching that this week.
It's like an iteration of Blackish to some degree.
I'm here for it. I'll be here to give a review next week.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, Netflix is the new BET, evidently.
Basically, because BET is shot to hell.
I mean, I tried to watch Sisters, but I mean, the boys are cute. That's the only thing. And the boy that plays the Queen is funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I like Sisters.
I don't know.
But the writing is terrible.
My TV got stuck with TV One after. I have a tendency, once my TV get on one station, because I can't remember our station, it'll stay there for 2 weeks. So after I watched Aldro on TV One, it was on there. And one night I had to finish something. I remember something I didn't do for work that had to be done for that work. So I stood up all night long. And this movie came up with Ernie Hudson and Vanessa Del Calloway called From Hell to Hell and Back. It was a corny movie, but it was really, really good. It was on TV One. It was really good. It was a spiritual movie, and it really, really was timely for what we are going through right now. It's basically, the overarching message was, no matter what's happening, you got to stay in faith and know that you're going to get through it. It was just a really good movie.
They've been running a couple of... TV One's been running a couple. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. They've been running a couple of these little churchy movies because there's one they did at the church right here down in DC off of 13th Street, where the pastor marries this prostitute. the Rucker guy is in it. He's in it, and
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker, and everybody you know is the extra. I'm like, oh, I know him, her, him, her, him. They were an extra in every scene. So, and it wasn't bad.
What's the name of that movie?
I can't remember. Something demon something. The boy that played the pastor was so cute. That's why I kept watching. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. I could watch it all day.
Motivation.
Well, I enjoyed that to hell and back. I enjoyed it. It was corny. Now, if I had paid some coins to go see it, I'd have been like, child.
Have you all seen the trap on Netflix with T.I.?
Yes.
And Mike Epps?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It was kind of cheesy, but T.I. got the best veneers, baby, in the business. That smile is worth $1 million. Those veneers were awesome. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And he had the cutest little nipples.
Look, I can send you to a great dinner.
Trust me, Tony, I already know you're the first person I'm calling.
Okay.
All of your connects.
Oh, T.I.'s veneers are the best. I've never seen veneers that great. They were phenomenal.
I like T.I.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna wrap up, y'all. So y'all, great seeing y'all. Stay safe out there, beloved. Please, this is for real. Pay attention. Wear a mask, gloves, the works, and stay at home. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.
Love y'all. Have the day you deserve.
Amen. I like that.
I like that. Bless the Lord.
Listen, vision. DC's #1 recording studio.